Hey there, welcome to the channel. So today I'm continuing my journey of looking for the best possible earbuds for Android, which has brought me to this guy, the Samsung Galaxy Buds Pro. If this review helps you, consider a like or a sub, helps me out a ton, eh? Anyways, these things look really sleek. They look like tiny little spaceships, so shiny. They're super clean with no tubes hanging out of the side. The case is also really nice and compact. It'll fast charge using the included USB-C cable, but there's no AC adapter for it. Pretty sure this is going to be a normal thing going forward, eh? Pairing the buds was relatively painless. I downloaded the Galaxy Wearables app on the Play Store and it found the buds right away. It did make me download a separate app, which I believe contains some Samsung drivers. The buds have an 11mm woofer and 6.5mm tweeter built into each earbud, and they honestly sound fantastic to me. Super clear, vocals sound great, and the bass seems nice and deep. They also let you choose from various EQ settings so you can dial in what works best for you. I find I enjoy normal or dynamic over bass boost, but I know some of you love having your brains rattle while rocking out, so you'll probably go bass. The noise reduction on these things is pretty good. I wasn't blown away by them, but it works pretty well. I had the missus talk and then yell, and I could barely hear her talk, and when she was yelling, it sounded like she was talking. They may not have the same performance as like the Sony or the Bose noise cancelling buds, but they do look a whole lot better in your ears than they do. It's a price I'm willing to pay, to maintain my flawless style. Getting a really good seal with any ANC buds is super important. Luckily, Samsung included 3 different size fittings to choose from. I had no issues finding the one that fit me really well. One thing that I thought I was going to absolutely hate was the ambient noise mode. I was afraid these were going to sound super robotic, but they actually sound pretty nice. It definitely has a tinny sound to it, but not so much that it sounds bad. Higher frequency audio such as the clinking of dishes will definitely sound louder than normal. There's also a little bit of white noise when you have the ambient mode enabled in a quiet room and nothing playing. But overall it sounds really nice. I'm impressed. One thing that's super trippy though is turning the ambient noise mode all the way to high. It sounds like you're speaking into a microphone with a bunch of speakers aimed at your head. I personally don't think I'll ever use it, but who knows, that's definitely not a natural sound like low and medium are. As for the touch controls, these things are fine, nothing special. You tap once to pause, double tap to play the next track or to answer a call, and triple tap to play the previous track. You can also customize the long press on each bud, so you can have the left or right bud activate noise cancelling or ambient sound, voice command, or open Spotify. The other thing you could do is have the left bud decrease volume and the right bud increase it. My only real issue with the touch controls is that I really wish you could use a swipe function to increase or decrease the volume, like on the Pixel Buds or the Bose Sports. It's a bummer having to choose either volume controls or features. I would really like to do both, and a swipe feature would completely solve that problem. If you assign the voice command feature on the buds, it will pull up your Google Assistant on regular Android and Bixby on Samsung phones. There's also a really cool feature that'll automatically lower the volume and turn ambient sound on when the earbuds notice you're speaking. It's supposed to make it easy to have conversations, and it does. I absolutely loved it when I first fired the buds up, but realized pretty fast that I'm going to be keeping it off. Turns out if you're downing a Molson and try to belch, it'll activate, yell at the TV, it'll activate, talk to your pets. You get the point, eh? If you talk to yourself, it's going to be quite annoying. The call quality on these buds is fantastic. I called a few people and they all thought I was talking directly to my phone. This is what the microphone sounds like on the Galaxy Buds Pro. I've also had 0 connectivity issues with calls or music. It's absolutely wonderful, even outside, unlike some other buds I've tested. Super solid. The battery in these buds will last you about 5 hours with ANC on and closer to 8 hours if it's disabled. The case will give you an additional 13 to 20 hours of charge. They're also IPX7, meaning they could survive a dunk in the water or a drop in the snow. The case allows fast charging via USB-C and wireless charging. What really surprised me was that my Pixel 5 was able to charge the buds with reverse charging. I thought Samsung would have made it only work with their phones. Super glad that's not the case. So let's talk about what I don't like so much about these buds. First up is comfort. Now, I may have just been putting them in wrong, but For some reason, the left bud had this tiny little piece of plastic that kept digging into my left ear. I really wish it was smooth and didn't have any small lip near the sensor. After changing the fitting, this wasn't as noticeable, but still a little disappointing. Other than that, I wish it had a volume swipe option like other buds. Also, some of the features on these buds are only available on Samsung phones, such as gaming mode, 360 audio, and Dolby tracking, but that's expected, I guess. I believe iOS devices lose out on almost everything except for listening to music, so if you're an iOS, I would just pass on these. And another issue I had was that I couldn't seem to get it to read out any notifications on my Pixel 5. Probably a user error, but it shouldn't take a setting deep dive to figure it out. It probably works flawlessly on Samsung phones. So would I recommend these buds to anyone running Android? Definitely. I am pleasantly surprised by just how wonderful these buds are. Definitely a little on the pricey side, but they do sound absolutely wonderful and are packed full of some really solid features. Battery life is more than enough for my uses, and the ambient mode is a game changer for me. I'm pretty picky with ambient modes, and these sound great. Honestly, my biggest pet peeve is not being able to swipe for volume changes, but other than that, these things are fantastic buds, and I'm totally giving them an A. Pretty sure these are going to be my daily drivers for 2021. If this review has helped you in any way, please consider dropping a like or a sub. Helps me out a ton, eh? If not, I still hope you have a great day and take care.